Go ahead.
This is Frank Edgar, UFC fighter. Welcome to the Trevor Airdrie Show.
Welcome everybody to episode 7 of the Trevor Airdrie Show. I am your host, Trevor Airdrie. Special shout out to my boy Frank Yeager for the sick new intro to the show, repping his brand new Fear the Fighter shirt today. And as well, you can see this show every single Wednesday on MMAjam.ca. Also go there, check out all the other interviews and postings there. And today's show is sponsored by Street Soldier Apparel. You can check them out, www.strtsoldier.com. If you see them at an event, go up and say hi to Jay, Johnny, and Christine. Great people, sweet swag, sweet prices, so check them out and get yours today. So this week, there is no recap due to no fight last weekend, so we go straight to In the News. In the News, sponsored by Combination Sports, your one-stop shop for MMA boxing gear and apparel, located at 306 King Street West in Kitchener, Ontario. If you can't go to Kitchener, you can shop online at www.combosports.com. So this week in the news, it was very action-packed. We have Michael Bisping undergoing surgery for a detached retina. He will be out for some time. When he does come back, he's interested in taking a fight against Kung Lee, which is a very intriguing fight of two veterans in the sport. You have Michael Bisping, perennial contender, and you have Kung Lee as a former Strikeforce middleweight champion. So very intriguing matchup there. For all you Toronto fans, this past week, you got a little bit of bad news. For those expecting to see Benson Henderson versus TJ Grant, unfortunately it won't be in Toronto. It'll be August 31st in Milwaukee as the main event of UFC 164. I am taking TJ Grant in that fight, not because he's Canadian, but just because I think he's, right now, the unstoppable force in the lightweight division. Also this week, UFC 161 card in Winnipeg has taken its hits. Henan Barao, he's dropped out, and now Shogun Rua, he has been removed from the fight against Little Nog due to Little Nog's injury, removed straight from the card, and he will be now in the main event of UFC on Fox Sports 1 versus Chael Sonnen. Also on UFC on Fox Sports 1, The Ultimate Fighter Season 17 winner, Kelvin Gastelum, he will be dropping to the welterweight division to fight top 15, top 20 guy in Paulo Thiago, and that will also be a great fight. I think it's a very wise fight for Kelvin Gastelum as the first fight in the big pond. He did upset Uriah Hall. Maybe he can go in and, start this train and get guys like Paulo Thiago to drop. So that'll be a very interesting fight. And the injury bug has hit a lot more fighters this week. As I mentioned, Michael Bisping, Little Nog, and then it also has taken Tariq Saffiedine, top 10 welterweight in the world, out of the fight against Robbie Lawler at UFC on Fox 8. And in goes Sayar Bazahadra, who is usually about 11 or 12 in the UFC rankings. And as well, this week was a big week of news apparently. Light heavyweight matchup between former title holder Lyoto Machida. He is not waiting for John Jones. He will be going up against Phil Davis at the UFC 163 in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. So another very interesting fight. I think Phil Davis is way over his head here. And I believe Lyoto Machida will have an easy victory there. And then big news in the Bellator world this week. Former UFC guys John Alicio, Quentin Rampage Jackson, and Czech Congo, Rampage's training partner, has all jumped over to the Bellator brand, so you will be able to see them this summer on Spike TV. So that's all I have for In the News today. So we will go into Outside the Cage. Outside the Cage is sponsored by M&A Sports Media. Big news is coming. You can go to mnasportsmedia.com. Go there, support your local MMA by picking up the wristband that I'm wearing, that my co-host Bobblehead Bass Rutten is wearing here. And as well, you can all check out all the upcoming events from them. So this weekend on Outside the Cage, I will once again repeat myself. Second annual Sean Tompkins Memorial Golf Tournament is coming up in August. Fire Rock Golf Club in Komoka, Ontario. The proceeds go to benefit the Sean Tompkins Memorial Fund and the St. Leonard Society of London. If you want to register for that, you can go to Adrenaline Training Center, or you can register online. And if you want that information, Facebook me, tweet me, direct message me, and I will definitely get that to you. You know, Sean Tompkins touched a lot of lives in the MMA world. Mark Hominick, Bas Rutten, Vitor Belfort, Clay Guida, the list goes on and on and on. There will be a lot of UFC stars there that weekend, as well as a lot of up-and-comers in Canada like Malcolm Gordon and Jesse Ronson and so forth. So definitely check that out. As well, coming up on June the 8th at Mass Training Center here in Cambridge, Ontario, we have the TJ Grant Seminar. It's $50 for striking, it's $50 for grappling, $100 for the whole thing. That's June the 8th. It starts at noon, and you can definitely go check that out. You can spar or grapple with the UFC lightweight #1 contender, possibly even the new UFC lightweight champion come August. So definitely go check them out. So this week on Trevor's Corner, sponsored by Fear the Fighter Training Academy. Want to be the best? Train with the best? Come down to 512 Charles Street East in Kitchener, Ontario. Sign up with Chad and Kyle today. You want to be the best? Train with the best. Like, that is a great moniker for that gym. I've lost 32 pounds from the Postman diet, like what I like to call the Postman diet. Kyle, he's a great dietitian guy. Chad, he's great with the kids. He's great with, you know, the focus mitts. So they train wrestling, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, you know, you name it, they train it. So definitely go and check them out. www.fearthefightertrainingacademy.com for more information. And I can't say enough about those guys. So this week on Trevor's Corner, crossover MMAers. This week we have the announcement that Quentin Rampage Jackson has joined the Bellator side of things, but as well as it's a Viacom contract, so he's also going to be on Impact Wrestling, which is seen on Thursday nights at, I believe, 9 o'clock. You know, I'm a pretty big pro wrestling fan, I will admit that, but these crossover athletes, like, you know, last summer it was King Mo was jumping over to Bellator and TNA, and we've never really seen a whole lot of King Mo on TNA Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, which it's now called. It's just very interesting that a lot of these UFC guys are doing crossover promotions. Great for the bank book, but at 35 years old, is Rampage really set to become a pro wrestler? Is he really ready to be suplexed 100 times a month? Is he really ready for, you know, to take... I know this guy is retired now from pro wrestling, but like a Stone Cold Stunner or over in Impact Wrestling, like an Angle Slam. I don't think his body's really going to hold up for that type of schedule, that type of, you know, physicality. Yeah, he goes into the cage and he, you know, goes punch for punch with people. But Rampage is also, you know, he's not the guy that gets thrown around. If he does, he loses in the cage. So it's a very intriguing match. It'll be interesting to see if Impact goes with the whole King Mo versus Rampage in a wrestling ring, and then, you know, Bellator goes with King Mo versus Rampage in the cage. We'll see how it all unfolds, but it'll be very interesting summer for Impact Wrestling. As well as, you know, we have guys like GSP going in the new Captain America movie, in the new Monsters Incorporated movie. You know, these guys are on pretty strict training regimens and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see if this cross-promoting of mixed martial arts in the, you know, entertainment world will hinder what they do in the future. So I'm very intrigued to see what goes on there. So that's it for Trevor's Corner this week. If you want your topic discussed by me, I will gladly do it. Send me tweets, hashtag it, you know, Trevor's Corner. You can send it to at M&A Trevor or at the Trevor A Show on Twitter. So definitely, I'd love to hear what you want me to discuss on here. I will gladly, argue any point that you want me to do. So definitely shoot me a line. And then, closing the show, the rundown, sponsored by Show No Love Clothing. Can't say enough about Paul Bernier. All these UFC meet and greets that I talk about, him and a guy named JT, they organize them all. They do it all in first class. They bring the fighters down in limos. They wine and dine these guys, night parties and meet and greets. And every single one of these guys that they bring down are class acts. So definitely check out Show No Love Clothing. It's also some pretty sick gear. They have like an Aces and Eights shirt. They have like Support NYC MMA for all you like New York MMA fans. So definitely check out that brand. And also you can check out the Inner Circle Agency for all the meet and greets coming up. So this week on the rundown, UFC Brazil, it's the Ultimate Fighter Brazil Season 2 finale. Unfortunately in Canada it's very hard to get a hold of copies of the Ultimate Fighter Brazil, so I'm not too educated on a lot of the fighters that are fighting this weekend. I am, however, intrigued by the main event. It'll be Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira, Big Nog, versus Fabricio Verdum, the one that stopped the unstoppable Fedor first. This, I'm going to be taking Fabricio Verdum. I just think the knees against Big Country, and Fabricio Verdum has been on a tear as of late with, the fall of Fedor. Yeah, he did lose to Alistair Overeem over in Strikeforce. But I just think that Big Nog is starting to decline a lot more than his body is telling people. And Fabricio Verdum, I have a feeling that he's on the way up. I would argue the fact that he could be named a top contender for the title if he beats Big Nog on the weekend. I would actually rather see Fabricio Verdum versus Cain Velasquez than Cain Velasquez Jr. dos Santos 3. But I'm going to take Fabricio Verdum via knockout in the first round. I don't see Big Nog making it through the first round over Verdum, but I've been wrong before. As well, we have the Ultimate Fighter Brazil Season 2 finale. We have William Macario versus Leonardo Santos. I'm going to be taking Macario here. I'm just going to go through this card really quickly because, there's not a whole lot of star power on it or even like UFC regulars on it. I'm going to be taking Thiago Silva over Rafael Cavalcante. I'm going to take Eddie Mendez over Daniel Sarafian. I'm going to take Eric Silva over Jason High. I'm going to take Mike Wilkinson over Ronnie Jason. And then the Facebook prelims, I'm going to take Asuna Seau over Vaughn Lee. Derek Brunson over Ronnie Marquez. I'm going to take Castro as the victor over Arantes. Leandro Silva is going to beat Alcantara. Rodrigo Dam over Mazudo Hirota. Ko Magales over Carlos Vimola. And starting off the night, I'm going to take Anthony Smith over Antonio Nato. So that's the UFC on Fuel TV this weekend, probably Sportsnet in Canada. And the prelim bouts on Facebook start at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The main card, Fuel TV at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So check that out this weekend. Definitely a main event that you can't miss. Big Nog, Verdum, crazy matchup. It's going to be good. And as always, the show has to end every week. So that's all the time I have for today. Special thanks to my sponsors, Fear the Fighter Training Academy, Combo Sports, Street Soldier, M&A Sports Media, Show No Love, and of course MMAJam.ca, because without MMAJam.ca, the show couldn't have come back, so I really am appreciative about that. Tune in next Wednesday for episode 8 of the Trevor Airdrie Show, and until next time, dream it, believe it, achieve it. I'm Trevor Airdrie, signing off.